for me?
2880.
Gotcha. Come on, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Good, thanks. Go this way. Go down to our assessment room. You having a good morning so far?
So far.
Yeah. Not so happy to be here.
Exactly.
Have a seat. I get it. You're gonna be fine. Confirm for me what we're having done.
Core biopsy, left breast.
Okay. Yeah, we'll ask you that probably 5 more times. It's not that we don't know which breast we're working on. It's part of our protocol.
Yeah.
And I saw you talked with one of our nurses the other day.
Yes.
Did you have any questions about anything?
No.
Any new known exposures to COVID or signs and symptoms?
No.
Have you had a biopsy on your breast before?
No.
Okay. Did she explain everything to you?
Yes, she
Kind of
did.
what to expect?
Mm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Are you having any pain right now?
A little.
Where?
At my left breast.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how bad is it?
Like a 3.
And your last period was July the 8th.
Yes.
Any chance you could be pregnant?
No.
Okay. Have you had any depression or suicidal thoughts in the past 2 weeks?
No.
Alright, let's grab your blood pressure. How does your blood pressure usually run?
100 and below 100's over like 70, 80.
Okay. Those are cute Crocs. I've never seen the clear ones before.
Thank you.
I tried to wear those here and my foot went flying out of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're so cute.
They're great for running errands.
Oh, yeah, because you just slip your foot in.
Exactly.
And I wish they made it just like narrow.
Yeah.
But I tried putting socks on and that looked ridiculous. So that was the end of that.
You tried.
I did try. Okay, sweetie, uncross your legs for me. We'll take it again one more time right after the biopsy.
Okay.
Perfect, perfect. So do you have a day off work?
No.
Oh no, you're going in after this?
I work remote, so
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay, well that's nice. What do you do?
healthcare IT.
Okay, you want to fix our system here?
I work on Epic, not yours. I don't know. What system do you use?
This is Cerner.
Cerner, yeah.
And I hate it, and I'll tell you why. Because whoever developed it, when we're putting in like heights and weights and temperatures, we have to convert it ourselves
Really?
from like Celsius, like right now I'm sitting here playing with your temperature.
Really?
Yeah, so I have to pull out the book if I can't figure it out myself. And yeah, it's really,
That's a little outdated.
it's really archaic, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, do you have an advanced directive or a living will?
I don't.
Okay. And then in terms of medication allergies, you're not allergic to anything.
No.
And do you have breast implants?
No.
Okay.
Very scared.
I'll see you guys in a minute. You have a seat right there. I'll grab your key from you. You're welcome to hold on. All right, so we're doing a biopsy today. Is that your understanding?
Yes.
On your left breast?
No, they took the initial ultrasound. No, I'm just waiting for them to actually come back in and do the procedure. I'm gonna just close my eyes and try to relax before this gets done. So I'm back home. I got an ice pack on right now. It's been about an hour since I left there. So ice pack on right now. It's a little irritation, a little uncomfortableness, I should say. It actually wasn't bad at all. I wasn't even worried about getting it. I'm just worried about the results. So going through the process and the procedure was fine. I mean, I felt a little pressure and when she was trying to tag it. Because, okay, if you never had a biopsy before, so what they do is they numb you. And I actually didn't feel that, which is weird. I felt none of that. They numb the area, make a small incision, and then they stick the biopsy needle in. And you hear it clicks. It's almost like a stapler, but a big, like, it sounds like one of those construction type staplers, like a staple gun. So you hear the click, and that's collecting a sample. I think she took maybe like 4 samples. And then the final thing is tagging it. So they put like a little titanium marker in there so that for future imaging, it shows up, you know, if I needed to get it removed, it's already tagged. They know where it is. They know what they need to take out. So that was it. Everybody was really nice, really sweet. So now it's just really a waiting game at this point to see what the results come back. It's a Thursday, so usually the results take about 2 days, but since I'm going into a weekend, most likely I'll have to wait until the beginning of next week. So I got a whole weekend or so to sit here and try not to worry myself. But yeah, so that's where we are. I'm just trying to keep my mind and my thoughts calm, not to get worried, not to get worked up, because, you know, it's easy to want to cry about this, but I'm gonna just be strong. But now I'm back home and I'm about to work, so it is what it is. I'll keep you posted. Hey, so I just wanted to drop in and kind of share my story and kind of talk about, you know, what's been going on with my health for the past couple of years, because I haven't really told anybody, and I just been over here kind of figuring it out on my own, because mainly I didn't want people to freak out or be worried about me. But, you know, I also thought, like, this is a story that I think, you know, should be shared and should be talked about, especially Black women, as far as health and healthcare, and, you know, how we're treated in the healthcare space and things of that nature, and how we speak up, and sometimes when our voices are not heard. So when I found this lump in my breast, of course I ran on YouTube to see if there was other women who looked like me who had experienced something like this, and just kind of hear their stories. And, you know, it kind of helped ease fears and anxiety. Although I didn't find a lot in my search, I figured, you know, well, maybe me sharing my story can be helpful to somebody else. So let's kind of talk about what started back in 2020. So early 2020, I was doing my breast exam. I usually do my breast exam when I'm taking a shower. I found a very small lump in my breast. It was very, very small. It was so small to the point where I'm just like, do I feel a lump? Is it a lump? I wasn't exactly sure what I was feeling, or if it was even a lump, because I have very small breasts, and they're already like fibrocystic, I believe is what they call them. So they're already kind of lumpy, and you can feel like cysts and stuff in them already, which I'm able to tell was the normal way that my breasts feel versus something new. So it was something new, but I still wasn't sure. So I went to my nurse practitioner at the time, and she just immediately ordered a mammogram. Let me just say that I've been getting mammograms since I was 30. They usually start at 40, but I started getting them early because my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer at an early age. So they wanted me to start early to get a baseline, and then, you know, go annually to get a mammogram, just to make sure if there's something they can catch it early. So, you know, a mammogram is not foreign to me. So I went in to get my mammogram, which, side note, anybody who's ever had a mammogram, mammograms are so uncomfortable. I don't know how they are with women who have larger breasts, but for me, with small breasts, and they gotta like smash that thing up in there, it is horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. I hate those things. Anyhow, so I went in to get my mammogram, and then it came back. This was the findings that was said on the mammogram. I'll read. It said the breasts are extremely dense, which lowers the sensitivity to mammography. There is a benign left calcification. So with having dense breasts, which dense breasts means that you don't have a lot of fatty tissue in your breasts. So what that does is it makes it hard for them to see any lumps or any changes on a mammogram. They usually recommend people with dense breasts have an ultrasound as well as the mammogram, or an MRI. So my nurse practitioner at the time had told me that, oh, your mammogram was normal. And then I read the report and saw that left calcification. So I thought, like, okay, well, you know, I guess that's nothing, you know, because she said it was normal. So after that, I just went on, like, you know, I wasn't really feeling it as much because it was so small in the first place. So I just went on with my life. And then a year later, you know, middle of 2021, I felt something a little larger in my left breast, and I was just like, that's definitely a lump. I was very sure at that point. I was like, yeah, that's a lump. Went into my doctor. She felt it, and she was like, yeah, we definitely need to get a mammogram and ultrasound on this so we can see what's going on. So I had that, and you know, it came back again, dense breast. They can't really see anything in a mammogram, but they did see it on the ultrasound. So the radiologist came in to me to speak to me the day that I had the ultrasound, which I didn't record that. I wasn't recording at the time because I wasn't sure I was going to share my story. But for me, the reason I started recording is because I don't always remember everything that they tell me in these appointments. And I like to have something to go back to because sometimes my memory is not the greatest. So sometimes I'll be like, did they say, what did they say? I can't remember what they told me. So I was like, let me start recording this and like documenting my journey. So just in case I need to refer back to it, I know exactly what was going on. And I'm really glad that I did. So the radiologist was like, oh, it looks like a fibroadenoma, but we want to do a biopsy to make sure. I was like, okay. But she did tell me a fibroadenoma is benign. So what a fibroadenoma is, it's a benign breast tissue that is common usually in younger women. So usually in your teenage years between like 15 and 35 is when these can occur. So getting one at 40, it was just like, oh, that's not typical, but it can happen. But she said, you know, we'll just do a biopsy just to make sure, just to confirm, and then we'll go from there. Probably just watch it, and you know, sometimes they can go away, or sometimes they can just be there and not, you know, cause any issues. So I got the biopsy, as you saw in the previous video. They did call me and confirm. Oh, and let me tell you, getting that biopsy and having a family history of breast cancer, I was extremely, extremely scared and anxious. I don't know if you can tell in that video, but I was just, it was a whirlwind of emotions because all I could think about is like, oh no, what if I have cancer? What if I have cancer? I got such a strong family history of cancer. Oh my gosh, what if I have cancer? So after it came back that it was a fibroadenoma, I was like, ooh, thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. That's exactly how I felt. And I was like, okay, now what do we do? So typically for fibroadenomas, they are painless. They move around easily in the breast. Which I'll say when they was trying to do the biopsy, they actually called it a breast mouse because it just like that little guy was just running around while they was trying to like stick the needle in, you know, trying to immobilize it so they could stick the needle in. But they finally got it and they put a little clip on it. When they put a clip on it, the clip is used so that when you come back and get a mammogram or an ultrasound the next time, it's already like tagged so that they can see where it is and they know like, oh, this is the tumor that we already biopsied. So they did all of that. Fibroadenoma, we'll just follow up. Great. So that's where we are right now. Found out it was a fibroadenoma. So now the journey is going to continue. And so that's where we are right now. It was just a fibroadenoma, thank God. And I'll just continue to get monitored from here on out. But I'll just say this story doesn't just end with the fibroadenoma. It's just been a lot emotionally for me. I'm used to just being healthy and not having any issues, so kind of going through this has been a little bit of a challenge for me, but I just really wanted to share my story with you guys. So I hope this helps somebody, and if you have any questions, you know, just drop down in the comments. But from here, now I'm gonna go and have my annual mammogram after finding a fibroadenoma. So we're gonna fast forward to a year later and kind of pick up on what else has happened since then. So.
Good morning. So today I am going to get my mammogram. It's been over a year since I had my biopsy, and when I went to my annual exam, I'd let them know that I felt like the lump has gotten bigger, which it has. To me now it feels more like the size of a grape, and it's annoying. Like I can feel it. My boobs are small, so I can feel it. I don't like feeling it. Like if I'm laying a certain way, it's uncomfortable. So she told me that, you know, if it becomes bothersome, then probably the next step would be to get it removed. So that doesn't sound exciting to me. However, I really don't enjoy feeling this thing in my breast, and it's not like it's just going away. It's doing the opposite. So I'm going to get my mammogram today, and then we'll go from there. You know, they'll probably have to do some measurements and see. But, you know, since my breasts are so dense, the mammogram, but they did tag it. So since it's tagged, that should show up on the mammogram, but I don't know if they'll be able to tell the size of it on the mammogram. I don't know how this all works, but we'll see. So I'm about to get up and get dressed and then head to my appointment. Made it to my appointment late. Just, it's cold out here. Eee.
Above your head, and let's see. Okay, turn on your side towards me. Alright, that's good. And then you can put your finger on that lump that you feel. We can take that little sticky off. How long have you felt this area?
It's been here for a couple of years.
Okay.
Bigger.
Okay, have you ever had a biopsy or anything
Yeah,
on
I
it?
had one last year.
Here? Oh, with us? Okay, so this is not a look. Looks like
Yeah,
a
that's why I
clip.
said it should be taken.
Okay.
That's what that is.
Yeah, that looks like the clip in there, yeah. All right, use it washcloths and wipe the gooey gel off. But it came back, I'm assuming a fibroadenoma or something like that? Yeah, okay. So let's don't ever change or turn anything back.
So I just got the ultrasound. I tried to flip the camera around, but I messed that video up. But I just got my ultrasound. They just, you know, viewed it, measured it. Now I'm waiting for a radiologist to come in and talk to me. So we'll see what happens when they come in. Nice to meet
Just
you
wanted to come and
too.
talk to you and tell you what's going on. So, this thing, we biopsied it, was a fibroadenoma, yes?
Mm-hmm.
It's grown a little bit since 2021. Have you started any new hormones, change birth controls?
No
remove
birth control.
Nothing?
No birth control.
Nothing.
Mm-mm.
So that would be the only real explanation is maybe you started taking hormone replacement or something, and because these are hormonally sensitive, so they can grow with hormones. Typically what we do in this case, though, if we don't have a good reason for them to grow, because they theoretically should not grow, at your age, is to just have them taken out.
Yeah.
Especially if it's bothering you and it's definitely grown. So I would suggest seeing a breast surgeon. And
Okay.
they'll just do a quick little surgery, scheduling you obviously for a quick little surgery just to remove this. And just look at the whole mass rather than just the biopsy samples that we took, because we just take slivers of it. So there's possibility that we missed something on one part of the mass that just is sampling error.
Right.
But this way they would look at the whole thing and make sure there's not something in there that's making it grow.
Right. Okay.
I would follow up with your doctor and see if there's a certain surgeon that your doctor likes. You have any questions for me?
No.
No? All right, well, just follow up with your doctor and we'll see you probably when you come back to have this taken out. So,
Okay, sounds
nice
good.
to meet you.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank you.
All right, you're
And your
welcome.
other side looks great.
Okay, good.
Thank
So-
you.
I'll
Thank
walk
you.
you back to the dressing room. You can get dressed and you'll be good to go.
Okie dokie.
Okay?
Okay, so that is all said and done. I'm not sure if you all were able to hear, but probably I'll make sure that that information is included. But to sum it up, I now have to be referred to a breast surgeon to get this removed, which I knew that's where this was headed because I'm sick of feeling a lump in my breast. I got a handful of breasts, and if you can feel that in my handful of breasts, you know, during the little spicy time, I don't like it. I don't like it. It's uncomfortable. It's like, I don't like it and I want it gone. I want it out of my body. So next step is going to be to go see a specialist, which I'm going to make that appointment when I get home. So the journey continues. Okay, so today is my appointment for the breast surgeon. So we're going to review my mammogram results and discuss surgery options. But unfortunately, last night, me just doing a regular breast exam, I found another suspicious lump in my right breast. It's kind of deep, so it was really hard for me to like feel it good. Plus my breasts are also like, what do they call it? Like cystic or something. Like they just feel lumpy already, but not like, I don't know how to describe it. But you can definitely tell the difference between like what the regular breast tissue feels like versus like an actual lump. So it's just kind of hard to really feel it because it's kind of deep, even though I have small breasts, but it's still deep. So I'll bring that to their attention. I also was reviewing my report from last year, and it did recommend that I get MRIs because basically basically a mammogram is useless for me because my breasts are so dense, so they don't even see anything on a mammo. So they can't even see the lump that's in my left breast on a mammogram. So the recommendation was to get an MRI. And you know what? I think I remember somebody calling me and telling me about that recommendation, but nothing really happened from it. I don't know if I was supposed to say, yeah, okay, I want to get an MRI. I didn't even, like this time around when I saw my doctor to get my annual mammogram, like that wasn't even mentioned. Like I completely forgot about it until I read that report. So I'm going to ask for that as well, especially since I don't really know what's going on in my right breast. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to take you all along for this appointment, and we'll just go from there.
Okay, so did you find this yourself? Did you feel it? So how long have you felt it for? A couple years? And it's just kind of slowly gotten bigger to you? Did you notice it was getting bigger? Yeah. Does it hurt? Does it bother you at all?
It does. It's very sensitive.
It is, okay. Have you ever had one before?
No.
Okay, so you know it's this common thing that women get. It's called a fibroadenoma.
Right.
You can certainly have it taken out if you want to. It has definitely gotten bigger. I mean, I think when they originally measured it back in July a year ago, it was around 1.4 centimeters. Now it's a little over 2 centimeters. But we can keep watching it too. I mean, we know it's a fibroadenoma. You know, we could continue to monitor it if it's not something you want to have removed at this point. It still looks very much like a benign fibroadenoma. Normally, we would just have you come back in a few months and recheck it again with the ultrasound.
Yeah, I mean, it hurts. It's annoying.
Is that you don't want it?
I don't want it.
Well, let's have a seat. Let me just look at it for you for a second.
And then I just found a new lump
Oh no!
last night.
What were you doing?
Checking my breast.
Checking your
I got
breast.
my hand here because
Okay, why don't you go ahead and lay back? Let me see if I can feel it. Let's see.
This one, I couldn't feel it when I was laying down, but standing up, I can feel it.
All right, let me just see. Just stop reaching for my hands up. Okay. I can probably pull it. Yeah, I can pull it over here. So typically, so you know, it's just an outpatient surgery. You do briefly go to sleep for it. We do it in the outpatient surgery center over at Northside Women's Center. This is a breast surgery room that we do it in. You come into the operating room, you briefly go to sleep. It's pretty mobile. I mean, I know it's way over here, but I feel like I can probably get it out through an incision along your areolar border, so I don't have to make an incision down here. So if I do it here, usually it'll fade back in over time. Okay. That's pretty. So I would just make an incision like right along here. Right when you go to sleep, take it out. And the surgery's maybe 15-20 minutes. Fall asleep, then we close you back up with stitches that melt away underneath the skin. You just get a waterproof dressing every week if you need somebody to dry you out on that day. By the time you come in, you know, have you had a deep minute and talk to the anesthesiologist, have the surgery and recovery. You've probably done that for about 3 hours or so. And then the next day you dry, next day you shower, just a heavy lifting or working out for the first week or two. Painful, but not painful. It's good. Maybe I write you for some pain medication to take, but most people get by with just kind of wearing a sports bra and some ice, some Tylenol and Motrin. But usually I'll write you for 2 pain pills to take for a night or 2 if you want to. But it's really not terribly painful. Okay. That's pretty easy fix.
Now I'm in my waiting. I'm about to get ultrasound. So just to look at the right side to see what's going on over there. I'm ready to go home.
You're going to do an ultrasound on your right breast, okay?
Okay.
When's your birthday?
280.
Want the radiologist to look at this, and then if they need anything else from me, they're going to look it back, okay? You go ahead and sit up whenever you're ready.
So those were just cysts, just liquid little cyst areas. So we don't worry about those. Those kind of come and go in your breast. We don't have to do anything with those.
Okay.
That's just kind of normal. Where are you in your cycle right now?
I think I got like a week or 2.
Yeah. So they usually get bigger right around your cycle, and then they usually kind of go down a little bit. This is the most common area you'll get them is in your upper outer part of your breast. Again, they don't have any risk associated with them, so we just let them be.
Okay.
All right, so that's that. It says you're good. That's your letter from that. Let me just check with Jennifer about having you sign the consent form and get scheduled for the surgery, okay?
Okay, and but we're going to do MRI first,
Yeah,
right?
she'll help you get that scheduled too.
Okay.
Okay.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. My name is Lee. I'm going to be doing your test today.
Okay.
And we're going to have you back here in MRI for about 30 minutes. Do you need to use the restroom?
No, I'm fine.
Okay. gonna take the left out of this door. Alright, so I have a locker back there that you can put your belongings into.
So that was, it wasn't okay, it wasn't terrible. It was uncomfortable, but it wasn't terrible. So I've had an MRI before for my migraines. It's a lot different. You gotta lay on your back, go into the machine. This one for a breast MRI is a whole lot different. You lay on your stomach. It's kind of uncomfortable. Your boobies go through this little hole. If I can find a picture of what the breast MRI table looks like, I'll insert it here. But yeah, it's like laying on your stomach like you're getting a massage, but it's far from a massage. So, you know, it wasn't long. It was maybe about 20 minutes or so. It was just uncomfortable laying on that table like that because you gotta lay. So you lay on your stomach, boobies through a little hole, arms above your head. So, you know, it was just a little bit of discomfort, but it wasn't terrible. So I'll get the results sometime next week. And then based off of these results, well, not based off of these results, but she wanted me to get the MRI before having the surgery just to make sure that there's not anything else going on in either one of my breasts. So we will go from there and we shall see what happens. So I'm really just ready for all of this process to be over. It's just, I mean, it's a lot. Even though, okay, my situation is benign, it's still a lot to go through. You know what I'm saying? Just, I don't know. It just makes me think about like what my mom had to go through. So, yeah, that was that. Now we wait. So I just wanted to drop in and give a quick update. I just got my MRI results and my right breast is fine. That's what we talked about in the last video where when I was at the doctor was I getting the MRI? No, when I was meeting with the doctor about surgery. I told her that I had felt something over here. They did an ultrasound. They said it was just a cyst. So scan on MRI, right side, fine. Left side where my fibroadenoma is, of course they saw that, but unfortunately they found another lump kind of in the same location. I think she said above. I don't know. Once she said another lump, I kind of was just like shocked. So there's another lump over there that's kind of above it. I'm trying not to get emotional because they don't know what it is. So I have to go in for a get it together. I'm just trying not to freak out in my mind like I did the first time when I first found the first lump. I was very anxious. I was very stressed out. I was very worried, of course. Since I have a family history of breast cancer, finding a lump for me was just like, I felt like, of course in my mind, I was like, oh, well, here we go. Here it is. You know, I was like, well, this is it. That's how I felt. So I'm trying not to feel that way about the new one that has been found. So I'm a little ashy. Sidetracked. Okay, so the plan is to next week I have to go in for another ultrasound and then they're going to do a biopsy. Well, they said an ultrasound and a possible biopsy, but I don't see why they wouldn't do a biopsy if they're unsure of what it is. I don't know, maybe they'll see it on an ultrasound and be like, oh, okay, it's a fibroadenoma, or it looks. But even when they saw the first one, they said it looks like a fibroadenoma and then did a biopsy afterwards. So I'm going to imagine that if they see, they're going to look at it and then do a biopsy. So I would get that all done in the same day. So there's that. I was hoping I was just going to get the MRI. It's like, okay, we see that fibroadenoma. Everything is clear. Excuse me. Everything is clear. We're going to proceed with surgery. This is why it's important to... Okay, so if you're a woman like me who has dense breasts, basically an MRI is useless. completely useless because it doesn't see anything. It didn't even see the fibroadenoma that I had. And of course, it didn't see this other lump that I had. Granted, maybe this lump came after my mammogram, but if they can't see the fibroadenoma on, which is 2 centimeters, which is big, it feels like a grape. That's about the size of it. That's because I can feel it. It's huge. It's disgusting. I hate it. If they couldn't see that, then they definitely wasn't going to see this. It's actually the size of it is a 0.6. So my fibroadenoma, I think she said a 0.6. I don't know. Like after she mentioned another lump, I was just like, my brain wasn't computing much information. It wasn't taking in much information after that. So this is why it's important to, if you have dense breasts, to make sure you get a follow-up ultrasound or whatever, or MRI. They recommended for me to get MRIs because since the mammogram doesn't show anything. So I probably should have got this mammogram a long time ago. I'm kind of mad at myself that I forgot that the last time I had the MRI last year, the last time that I had the mammogram last year, when they said that it would be beneficial for me to get MRIs, that I should have said this time when it was time to get my annual, to say, hey, I want to get an MRI. I don't know if that would have changed anything. I don't know what would have been different, but just moving forward, I'm going to make sure that I get MRIs. But anyhow, I don't know. I was hoping that like, okay, now we can move forward when having a surgery, because I'm so sick of this thing. I'm sick of feeling it. I'm sick of it being there. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. Like, I already have very small breasts. Y'all can't tell, this is a lot of padding. I know, well, you can't see, but this is a lot of padding. Okay, I really don't have much going on there. And from having a child and breastfeeding, they're like nothing. Okay, the tissue is like real thin, I should say. So it's so palpable, like you just run your hand over and you feel it. So I hate it. I absolutely hate it. I'm just ready for this to be gone. I'm ready for this to be over with. So now to find out there's another, I actually can't feel the one that they're talking about. I was over here like going to town, like squeezing, rubbing. I can't feel it. So yeah, I just wanted to give you all a quick update about that. So another ultrasound and another MRI. Another ultrasound and another biopsy. So yeah, that's that. That's where we are. I wish I could have recorded the phone call, but I was just waking up, so I was like, I usually like to record stuff like that because I'll forget, and then I can just play it back and be like, oh, okay, that's what she said. But we'll see what happens next.